If 30 to 40% could agree that this was legitimate tyranny and it needed to be thrown off, they need to have sufficient power without asking for extra permission. It should be right there and completely available to them in their living room in order to affect.
Okay, so that is Representative Thomas Massie, who seems to pop up once every month or so for some explicitly pro-gun, pro-political violence, weird fasci memes and stuff like that. He's saying there that if 30 to 40% of this country agree that there's a tyranny, we need to have them have the ability, without any extra planning or prep or purchasing, to overthrow the US government. So there cannot be any limits on any sort of military hardware that would make it so that 1/3 of the country deciding they've had enough, that they can just go and murder the federal government. He is a sitting member of that government. And I have a feeling, I don't know, to some extent I'm speculating, I'm speaking for him, that this would not extend to 30% of leftists, Antifa people deciding that it's time to overthrow everything. This is just a sop to his base. They love the idea of eventually being able to gun down the National Guard, like murder Congress, like every once in a while. This is how you build clout on the right now, is implying that that is acceptable and that trying to stop that from happening is somehow wrong.
They're already doing it. I mean, and these are the same people in the same breath who say Blue Lives Matter, and yet you've got the Boogaloo Boys who've absolutely been inspired by statements like this, who are killing cops, who are killing National Guard, who are killing service members. What the hell are we talking about anymore? Like it is, yeah, you're absolutely right. And the problem is like we're not actually taking this seriously. Who knows? Maybe DOJ since January 6th, it's been more than just a select committee, and there's a whole lot of stuff that's been going on. But I'm like, we just found out a week ago that the CIA currently spies on American citizens, and it's like, oh, dude. Remember that coup? Could you have like stopped that then? Oh no, you make coups, you don't. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, they're former CIA who are in the insurrection. Tight. Like, I mean, even if 30 to 40% of armed right wingers were to actually rise up, like there's part of my brain that was like, yeah, I would love to see a Biden administration actually pull out the full force of the military. And then I'm like, we wouldn't do that.
Well, he wouldn't, and I wouldn't want to see that. No, I'm not like. No. Who is actually interested in this?
He wouldn't do it because if they were white, nobody would do it. If they were black or brown or wanted, fighting for economic rights, there would be tanks. So, but anywho, yeah, you can just easily say this and there's no consequences.
No, not at all. And look, there's some reason to believe that what you said is true. Like, we see videos of, people like literally laying in their beds getting shot. Whereas, when the militias were doing standoffs with federal agents, they were literally just pointing rifles at them for hours and hours. And the cops never felt like they had to do anything about that. So yeah, look, the important thing is that I personally think that political violence is bad and we should work for a system where it's not encouraged. But the incentives in terms of fundraising and social media clout seeming to be an up and comer in the party, on the right, the incentives are pointing in all the wrong directions. So is it any surprise that people like Marjorie Greene consistently make comments like this and pose with guns, that Madison Cawthorn is constantly telling people that they might need Second Amendment solutions and all that? They have been incentivized by right-wing media and the right-wing base to encourage violence, and so they do it. And it is a vicious cycle that is not moving us in a good direction. He's a member of Congress. He should know that more than anyone. But anyway, let's go to some of his recent comments. Over 70% of Americans who died with COVID died on Medicare, and some people want Medicare for all. I read that one. It's not about political violence. I just want you to know what sort of intellectual firepower he's bringing to this particular fight. He put out this quote saying, "You mustn't question Fauci for he is science. To learn who rules over you, simply find out who you are not allowed to criticize." Which, by the way, it's not a Voltaire thing. It's experts say that they can trace it back to Kevin Alfred Strom, an American white nationalist. But again, any quote should be good or bad regardless of who actually said it. And how many stupid people love this quote? Like, everybody can criticize anyone. Some people like some, it's not nearly as deep as people think, but shallow people love stuff like this. Anyway, like you can criticize Fauci, we criticize Fauci, we criticize Biden. It's such a stupid thing to say.
No,
and of course, continue.
Anyway, I mean, it is the most white supremacist saying ever. Like it does make sense, and it matters that it can be traced to a leader of the National Vanguard or whatever. Like, because he's basically talking about Jewish Americans and African Americans. That's what he's saying. He's saying PC culture is the real thing that is like the problem. The fact that I'm not allowed to say the N-word or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, Voltaire, guys, Voltaire.
By the way, Thomas Massie, criticize Trump. Come on, go ahead. Go criticize Trump. See what's happened to people in your party who have done that. I guess he rules over you. I guess it's tyranny, since if you criticize him, you'll be run out of your party. Again, it's just shallow people love stuff like this. Anyway, there's not gonna be any consequences. You could encourage this. You can maintain the fiction that 30% of the country with a random assortment of small arms is gonna be able to take over the government. We are led by stupid, opportunistic grifters. That's all it is.
And they will be hiding in their bunkers if anything comes to pass. They will not be on the front lines with all the rubes that they've convinced to pick up arms against the government, which by the way, is illegal if you are sitting in government. Constitutionally, you're not allowed to aid or abet or encourage any kind of insurrection against the US government. Funny how we continue to forget that. But they'll just be like Trump. They'll be like Trump. They'll be whisked away to the safe room as people fight their stupid civil war for them.
Yeah, it's all gonna be, we're gonna march to the Capitol and I'm gonna be marching with you. Peace. That's all it's gonna be.
Keep going, you're doing great.
I'm watching on TV, loving it.
I'll be right there. Just gotta grab a thing and the Amy.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.